Okay, today we're going to review calculus basics. Before that, I'd like to look over one of the questions from the minor, which you guys absolutely tanked. Wow, absolutely tanked. So this is the question. Aliana has geese on her farm. She claims the mean weight of eggs from her black geese is less than the mean weight of eggs from her white geese. She recorded the weights of eggs in grams from a random selection, and the data is shown here. In order to test her claim, Ariana performs a t-test and represents significance levels. Assume that the weights of the eggs are normally distributed and samples have equal variances. Why does it say this bit about it assumes the weights of the eggs are normally distributed?
For the hypothesis?
For what? It's simple. You can't do a t-test if it's not normally distributed data. So you can't sort of just throw in and say a t-test is not suitable for this stage. Or there is no evidence to support that a t-test is suitable for this data. So it's just one of those prerequisite type things for a t-test. It needs to be normally distributed. I've taken off the questions because I just want to talk around it more straightforward. What is the null hypothesis in symbolic terms? Mu.
Mu.
Or I think a Greek person says me.
Me.
But it's mu.
Mu is.
Wouldn't it be mu1 and then less than with a cross across it? Mu2?
No.
Not equal.
The null hypothesis in a t-test is always this. There is no other null hypothesis for a t-test. So there's some misunderstanding of it in this question on this one. You don't put the claim necessarily as the null hypothesis. Sometimes it can be. You can make a claim and say, oh, I think these are equal, or I think these are not equal, or I think these are less than, or I think these are greater than. All of those, you still have this as your null hypothesis. You don't decide it based on what your claim is. You decide whether you want the null or the alternate hypothesis based on what your claim is. So, in words, because that was the question, what is the null hypothesis?
The population of.
No, the population.
Let me pull up the catastrophe.
So Rhonda said you were making this up about population mean and how stringent it was to say population.
Really?
Yeah.
And
So I defended your opponent.
and who do you believe?
You. But she said it sort of spitefully.
Standard level. This is the question from the IB. This is the IB mark scheme. The population mean weight, specifically. And then in the extra notes, reference to the population mean weight must be explicit to be awarded. The term population can be applied from, or it explains why. Award nothing if reference is made to the mean weights of the sample, or if it's written in symbolic form. This is the May 2021 question that was actually taken by students. And this is the mark scheme that was used. In 2020, I didn't teach it that stringently. In 2021, I didn't. But since then, since I've seen this, I went through and I told Chapley and Dixon, I said, look, we have to do this now. They're upping the level of language. I think they're slowly upping the level of language from what was studies to what this course is heading towards. And then some years they bring it back down again, but that's fine. Yeah. So, let's have a look at what you guys did. I seem to remember being very strict on in class and saying very clearly, I wrote it in black on the top right, I think I wrote it about here, and said if it's mu, population mean, if it's x bar, sample mean. Can you put your phone away, Sophie? It's arrived late and it's not reached. Yeah. So come on here, the mean weight of eggs. Christian? The mean sample weight. Worse. Actually worse. Okay. Symbolic only, this one, Sophie?
Was symbolic only was incorrect.
Mean weight. Well,
I told you some
mean weight.
Yes, I don't think population could be eggs. Like, why is
Population
it
It could be anything.
Maya.
I literally read
Mean
it's
weight.
like unborn geese.
And lastly, Sabina, the mean weight.
Sir, like eggs are not population. The geese did not come out of the egg. Yeah.
So there was another reference in the notes to the examiner about that. So Ariane has used on her form. She claims that the mean weight of the eggs is less than the mean weight of the white. She recorded in grams from a random selection of geese. So what we need to say here is the population mean weight of eggs from black geese is the same as from the white geese. What will be the alternative hypothesis we need to use for this one? Symbolic. What's the alternative hypothesis?
Mu1 is not equal to mu2.
Is mu1 is less than mu2.
So at this point, you've got three choices. You can do a two-sample t-test, and that's where you're looking to see if they're different. That's where you're looking to see if you're different, that one is different to the other. Or you're going to do a one-sample t-test. That's where you're looking to see if one is better than the other, or one is worse than the other. So in this case, it's the black. She claims that the weight of the black geese is less than the weight of the white. So this has to be your mu1, this has to be mu2. So in this case, we're going to want mu1 is less than mu2. And then we want to reject the null hypothesis in order to support that.
Sir, but I put that each one as H0 because she's on the test.
Yeah, it's right.
How come?
If you were here at the beginning of the class and turned up on time, you would have been reminded that a t-test, the null hypothesis, is always equal. Always equal. There is no alternative. Okay, so have a go now at finding the value on your calculator.
You saw that?
Did you find the value?
No, I think he needs to try
It's for the driving test. I read how
this
I did it in 7 minutes while you got me. The guy gave me
What did you
I
finish?
did
So
it.
this-
I didn't, I just come late to school.
When did I borrow?
No, because I'm very small and school.
For me, they said,
I always very
yeah,
okay.
but you have to go home as well.
They dress code you?
No, I was
Exactly.
I was just late. I actually no, I
You tried that yesterday, the first time.
this last year they do this for 2 weeks and then they stop.
But not this
But
one.
a lot of people just jump on it. So,
Yeah.
So you can only wear shoes that you blisters and you project that.
Like, that's getting to understand.
I was in the car.
That's good. That's
I know this one.
I'm honestly not sure. I guess I get along because I
That's what I know. And people started before me.
to give the charger
They told me and I'm that seriously.
So,
I'm because I'm not I don't understand the area.
I told my friend, I only charge it here, and then I told my friend.
Then look at the guy outside, no one sees it around. Everyone watched me and smiled.
what do we get as our values? Mine?
I didn't say that. And he to me, they smart, and they come and shoot at I want to go on to street free. I think she'll go on to much younger.
Let's try and focus, please. Let's try and focus, everyone.
Full custody, yes. And then alternative hypothesis.
B value 0.77.
They're not loud, but I don't know. There's power schools disabled, so it's.
I'm at the wall.
Minus 0.9.
What did you get, Mila?
0.177.
I think that's the right one.
So we oh, okay.
Here, you know what they did?
Yeah, it was 0.177. You probably looked at the T instead of.
If I lost it, I'm very sorry. If I did, I'm so sorry.
Oh. So I asked her.
Yes. What did you guys get?
Sorry, on the way. In progress. Get back in 3 business minutes.
Why did I want this in
So I think when I borrowed his charger, there's a good chance that I lost it. We cannot be sure, and his went to that.
These are very hard charges to find.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm really trying to remember if I gave it back or where I put it.
No, you have a PS5, PS4, PS5. Take the cable for the remote charge.
Does that work? Mine was on
That's where mine go.
Oh, for your son?
I don't know how he loses them. 0.177. Okay. The last question was something on the lines of state whether the result of the t-test supports Ariane's claim.
C value
is low. Wait.
The P is not low, so we don't reject them.
This you guys did well on. Even if, because I can do follow through on. No, what you guys did well on was to write an inequality always. This is greater than.
0.1.
So you're actually joking. It's so funny.
So you guys did well on including that, and I think that was enough. As long as you said it supported the claim, I think this was enough to score the point. What does this mean?
Insufficient evidence to reject the null hypothesis.
Insufficient
No, sufficient evidence to reject the null hypothesis.
What? Why? It's higher.
If the P is
See,
low,
don't reject the whole. The
Yeah,
P
but
is
it's
high.
big.
if the P is low, reject the whole.
Yeah,
But
it's
the P is big.
Oh, yes. Never mind.
I got so scared.
Sorry.
The entire exam, not the entire exam, and in the IA, I kept telling myself, if the P is low, reject the low. I'm like, is this correct?
Guys, I have a way to remember the other one, right? So like the critical value is critical, so it's a problem if you go above it.
I just go like
If the P is low, reject that whole, and the other one's just the opposite.
Yeah, it's just the
So
opposite.
that's like too much.
No, it's
That's
not.
insufficient evidence to
Only
reject
an AISL.
the whole.
Think that forward.
What does this tell us? Do we accept or support the claim?
We
The first one is
are
Can
unable
Never
to
accept the claim.
You never accept it.
Is there enough
So how dare you say that? Don't say the A word in this classroom.
We have to use the words back. What was the wording? We have to use the wording back. State whether the result supports the claim. Doesn't accept, it supports. Does it support
No.
or not support the
It
claim?
does not.
Insufficiently supports it.
No, it doesn't.
Thus, or wait, no.
It does not support.
So it indicates that the null hypothesis could be correct,
Yeah.
which means her claim is wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Are you getting the test back, sir? So we can
Yeah.
see our.
Insufficient evidence.
To reject the null hypothesis.
We've done that one already.
Oh.
To support the claim. Insufficient evidence to support the claim.
Sir, I don't even think you know word the mark for that.
He's just gonna be like, no.
We just want to get it perfectly right. All right, let's pause the video. We can have a look over the tests now for a minute. The derivative formula. I think we remember how the derivative formula works a little bit here.
There's no formula.
F of x tells us the value of the function for any x. F prime of x tells us the gradient of the function for any x.
I actually didn't know this.
Focus on these two a minute. One of the questions is, do I have to put it back into the derivative or do I have to put it back into the original function? It's often a question. And you have to sort of understand what's the question asking. Is it saying what is the value of the function at the maximum? Well, obviously that's going to f of x. Yes, you're trying to find whether the gradient is equal to 3 at a certain point. That's to go into the derivative. Okay, quick warm-up exercise.
Sir, these days were so fun and math last year.
This was this year.
No, this is last year.
Oh, it was this.
I read that word.
You know, your reaction don't do that. Your reaction to this content is the opposite of the other class. They really
Yeah, we
don't like it.
I don't like geometry and shit. I like,
Yeah,
It's all down to whether you understand it or not.
yeah.
this makes sense.
Everything's easy once you understand it.
no.
So this feels like a
Only
puzzle.
Some things are still challenging.
Yeah.
even if you
Like for
understand
me,
it.
trig and geometry are pretty challenging.
But it's a different type of challenging.
Yeah.
This isn't challenging. It's only
Because there's
challenging
an answer.
if you don't get it.
Straightforward answer. You just need it.
I find math is better than English because
Good maths.
I don't
So
understand.
this is a slide from
It was all the homework.
It is a
I
slide.
do.
Math is hard when you stop doing all the homework for a long period of time. So those people that they never really do the homework from grade 8 onwards and stuff,
Oh yeah.
they slowly get worse and worse, and then they feel bad about doing the homework. It gets more and more, and they end up tanking.
Oh yeah, they do. Someday.
Could you give us
Oh, wow.
100 derivatives and then see how many we can do in 60 seconds?
My colleague Tegan used to do that.
Can we have
We
like
used to call it the
grades,
stress
please?
test.
Can we do
That's
it?
so
Because I did that in elementary school. And I was,
Yeah.
I don't have
He used to stress test it.
half a minute.
I wanted to
I'll get a thing at
give us like 100 lines and then let's see how many we can do correctly, please.
and it is.
That's my turn. What's my turn?
We're not doing 100
Please.
questions.
It doesn't matter how many you get wrong, it's only how many you get right,
Right.
and it's time.
Or you can give us like 300. It's like 200 and 100
Can
seconds.
we have a go at the
Is this the same
Finish.
example?
You got them all?
Yes.
I see A and B.
Absolutely same. It's the same
So
exact
where do you
thing.
say?
It's the same exact
Sorry,
thing.
sorry.
Sorry. That's not the question I wanted to ask.
When you said I
Finish.
I finished my level.
did you lie?
I finished the one I can do. Actually, I can do two. Alright, wait.
I think you can do all of these pretty
I'm not even looking at how much it's produced.
I really want to do that now.
Can we do that at the end of class?
Yeah, and we can do integration as well. Give us like 100 f primes and you know.
No, not integration, just derivatives, like at the end of class.
This is correct.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be so
Wow,
fun. I really want to do that now. I really want to do
I think I can check GTP. GPT. GPT.
Okay, I have one question. I'm still mad about our report.
No, I didn't chat GPT.
Yes, you did.
No,
You did it, didn't you?
there was a typo in the list. It was the only one line that got pulled up.
There
When I fixed it. But they checked it, and there was a typo in it. So I think I spelled classroom with 3 S's or something.
Oh yeah, sorry, because you can't spell it. I remember.
No, that's not me not knowing how to spell.
Actually, you
Yeah.
There's actually.
That means I'm
Yeah.
You know, it's an experiment.
Experiment.
Don't talk to a little Tom like
Sorry,
that.
is this the same exact as last week?
There is a chance of it being the same. Okay, are we recording? All right, answers please. Answers please. Let's have dy.
X squared.
Sorry, dy dx 6x squared. Somebody else?
Me.
15x.
X squared.
Hold on. Let me call names. Sophie.
15x squared minus 8.
15x squared minus
8.
8.
On the bottom,
C.
2x.
Maya.
2x.
18x to
Is
the
that
power.
all? Is that all you want to give? 2x?
Yeah.
Calling names.
18x to the power of 5 minus 2x.
Mahir.
18x to the power
Why did you never call on me?
minus 2x because you're yelling.
Okay. Question E. Mila.
Where is he?
Can you do it or not?
Not free either, no.
Which one? Oh,
Can anyone do question E?
yes, if you show me. See, so it's a condition of deal, you know. This is how we negotiate.
Can anyone give me the answer to question E?
Question.
Oh my god, I get it, but I don't know the answer. He's asking us the derivative of E, aren't you, right? Like it was like a thing, was it?
And what is the answer?
1.
I don't know.
1, 0.
Oh, sir, I'm so smart, but I'm so stupid. Sir, I'm so smart, but I'm so stupid. If I knew that, it would have been so cool. I got what he was saying, but I didn't know the answer.
Wow.
That's genius.
Alright. Hold on. No, let's not do this one.
You know, I halfway got there.
More practice.
Okay.
We can skip to this.
Oh, I remember this.
Find an expression for.
Let me pause a minute.
Or your opinion.
Okay. Let's just remind ourselves of the steps for this type of a question. Finding tangent and normal lines, we find the derivative. We can use the derivative to find the gradient of the function and the tangent at any point A, x equals to A.
Sir, could I take a photo of this slide because that's
Yeah, sure. That's why I'm recording this slide as well. It's on the video. So if you're finding the normal, you need the negative reciprocal of the tangent to get the perpendicular line. After that, you've got to put A into the original function because you need a y1 as well as an x1. So when we're sticking in here, this will give you y1. The question will give you x1. Your gradient will come from whichever of these two that you're doing here. We'll give you this, and then you stick it into there and you get your line. So let's have a go at our question. Where's our question? It's over here. Find an expression for f dash of x. So A, we need f prime of x is equal to, so we're going to give this one. Wait, I'll call names. I haven't had Sabina.
It's negative 6x squared minus 1.
I'll have Christian.
1
1
minus.
minus.
6x.
Oh.
Wow. Delicious voice change.
Christian, you need to do a little bit more work in the gym to get your testosterone up because your voice is very high. Thanks, ladies. All right. Find the gradient of the graph y equals f of x at this point. No.
Oh,
No.
really, sir?
No.
After I got
Get out.
after you failed the final answers.
If you're a student that gets this wrong, you might want to make sure that you don't get this right. You will get follow-through marks, but it can get a bit sticky. Check your answers if you want using the graphing calculator. So one of the easiest ways to find a derivative is, let me just have a fresh new document. I like to add it onto the graph page. So I'm going to graph the function x minus 2x cubed. So graph the function. We're doing all of this around the value 1.5. So I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit, make this -2, make this 3. We're looking here, aren't we? So here on the graph, we can find very quickly the derivative at the point that we want. We want the point 1.5. Enter.
Okay, show us again.
I recorded it.
Yay.
But you have the graph, you press menu, analyze graph, derivative, then you type the number that you want, 1.5. Let's do one up here at -0.2. Problem with this is you get it as, it's simplified to 3 significant figures. So if you want it as a decimal, if you want it as a fraction, sometimes I prefer to do it here. So on this one, we press menu, calculus, numerical derivative at the point. We need the point 1.5, like this one. It pops up this first. We've got the function stored there. So we just click on the function and then we put in an x, so f of x, and it will give us our answer. We then can press menu 2, and it will turn it into a fraction for us. This is -25/2.
If the word is that way,
You wouldn't be wrong for either, but for part C, the fraction is better.
Really?
Part C, the fraction will be better. So we have m equals f prime of 1.5 equals, what did we get?
-25.
-25/2.
Yes.
C. For C, we need to find the equation of the tangent at this point. So we've got the gradient, we've got x1, what do we need to find next?
Y. You plug in 1.5.
We want y1. We want y1. What gives us y1? What gives us y1?
6.
Yeah, 6 is crazy.
I can teach this many. It's almost a waste of his resources to teach this few brilliant
I'm
minds.
flexing when he grabs my muscles.
It's almost a waste of his brilliant mind for him to teach this few people.
Don't let him see the previous steps.
I'm teaching 2 people at home as well.
You're teaching 2 people at home.
Yeah, he's recording it.
Oh wow, he's Superman over here.
So many students.
So f of 1.5.
So it comes 1.5 minus 2 times
Oh, this is
1.5.
where you use your original equation.
What's this as a fraction? Menu 2 -21/4. What I would recommend is typically, you wouldn't get a point for this one, but if you're wanting to get follow-through points because you've made a mistake previously, you need to show more working. So it would be useful here on this one to go 1.5 minus 2 bracket 1.5 cubed. Even if you got it wrong, that type of working would get more points,
Sure.
especially for follow through. So this is 21 over 4 minus 21 over 4. Yes.
Okay. I remember before there used to be another way to do it, where you put like a y cosine plus c and you replace into the y cosine plus c, you replace y. Oh no, sorry. You replace the other ones, like you replace m and one of the other ones. I forgot how to do it. And then you'd answer it. Is that so fun?
Yes.
Can you tell me how to do it?
No.
What?
I will. I'll show you.
Okay.
It's not good for this question.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, you've got three different forms. You've got y equals mx plus c. You've got this form that I'm going to use, which is y minus y1 equals m brackets point slope form. You've got slope intercept form, y equals mx plus c. You've got point slope form we tend to use, and you've got the general form, which is the one you have here. Now, if you're reading off of a graph, point slope form is the best. If you're reading off of a graph, y equals mx plus c is the best form. If you're converting from data, then, if you're reading off of a graph, y equals mx plus c, slope intercept form, it's called, is the best. If you're doing it from data, point slope form is the best. So we want to use the form y minus y1 equals m bracket x minus x1. This is the best when you're just working with data. It's also the best for converting into this form, especially when you've got these nasty fractions. So let's put the bits and pieces in. We've got y minus y1, so that becomes 21 over 4 equals m, that's minus 25 over 2, x minus, and this will, all right, that's 3 over 2, 1.5. We need to make it so that these are integer. These have to be integer. We have to multiply through by the lowest common denominator. What is the lowest common denominator?
4.
4. We're going to multiply through by 4. So if we multiply this by 4, we get 4y. We multiply this by 4, we get 21. We multiply this by 4, we get
Negative. Wait, you're talking about that? Wait, I'm so confused. What?
if we multiply minus 25 over 2 by 4,
Negative 100 over 8.
No.
Negative 100 over 8. No, negative 50. Wait, what? Yeah?
Because it's already negative.
which is your last steps? This is going to be negative 50
Negative 50.
x,
It was a difficult journey, but we got there.
and this one will be negative
Six.
75.
Wait, what?
Sorry, let me do 2 steps then. Sorry, I'm doing too much at once.
We're too stupid. I mean, I am. I should have speak for you.
Okay,
I like how you nodded when I said that.
we still normally struggle with this minus 25 over 2 times 4.
Thank you for recalling that, sir.
You're welcome. Minus 25 over 2. So why not use your calculator to help you with these bits and pieces?
Very right there.
This is going to give us minus 50. So then we want minus 50x bracket minus 3 over 2. So expanding that, we get minus 50x. What about minus 50 times minus 1.5?
75.
Interesting.
Equals 75. Rearrange everything over to here. We'll get 50x plus 4y. We've got 21 minus 75, don't we? Let's need a calculator for that one. What do we get? Minus 54. Okay, let's have a go at the next question. You guys, are you ready for it?
Yeah. Is it already?
Okay, our next question. Have a go at this one. We'll pause the video. All right, let's continue. So we've got this next question. The company sells bicycles. The company's profit P is charged in dollars. Changes based on the number of bicycles they produce each month. The rate of change of their profit from producing X bicycles is modeled by this. What do we notice first about this?
It's already
It's
derivative.
exactly.
It's already
It's already derivative.
It's a derivative.
So you
It's
have
a
to put it back
derivative.
to original.
This is dp dx. What is p?
P is the profit in dollars.
Y.
P is your y, p is profit. So when it talks about profit, that's not this function. So in our first one, we need to find an expression for p in terms of x. How would we do this?
equals.
So that
So, sorry, we integrate, I think you said.
Yeah.
So let me start with that.
Oh,
So we integrate with respect to x. What do we get as our?
so we get negative 0.12x squared plus 18x, and then plus c, which we can calculate because we have the relation for it.
What information do we have to help us with it?
We have the fact that they made $230 when they produced 10 bicycles.
So here it says the profit of 230 for 10 bicycles. And what you should be able to do on this is identify the profit. That must be a P. And the bicycles, that must be an X.
Yes.
As you see in the wording. So read the wording careful. Help yourself with the units as well. Units can help you. Is this a derivative or is this a function? Derivative units are always compound units, or typically compound units. There are cases. The typical compound units, in this case, it would be dollars per bicycle. Very strange unit. So we need to put this information in. We get 230 equals
Negative
Negative 0.12
0.12
times 10 power
times 10.
2 plus 18 times 10.
oh, I've written that wrong. 12
12
0 to 12
times 10 squared,
squared.
and then plus 18 times 10
Thank you.
plus c.
How do we get the answer of that?
We can just end solve, and c equals 62.
We end solve and c equals 62. So what is the answer?
For a, we get negative 0.12x squared
So p of x is negative 1.2x squared
plus 18x
plus 18x
plus 60.
plus 62.
Yeah.
So this is part A. Part B.
For b, we just plug in 50 for x at not the derived but the original, which is negative 0.
So for this step of the question, let's say for instance you can't do part A. You get stuck and you mess up part A. Make sure you give an answer in part A. You say p of x is equal to an irreciprocal looking function. Make it complicated. Make it up if you get completely trashed.
Yeah.
But you look at B and think, oh, that just means I have to put it into the function. If you've got a clearly defined function in part A, on part B you will get not for your answer. So if you put answer only, really, if you put answer only, you won't get any follow-through marks, but you'll get follow-through marks if you show you're working. So it's important to take the function that you made in the previous one, even if your function is wrong. If you write it up like this, showing you sticking it into your function, you will get a method point for this, and if you get the answer right for that function, you'll get also an answer accuracy point, as long as your function is complex enough. If your function is overly simple, like you say, p of x is equal to x, they might not give you the accuracy marks if the function that you got was too simple. So putting this into the function, what do we get?
$662.
How many?
662.
$662. All right, let's have a look at the next question.
Let's read since it's the current situation needs to write it.
Have a go at this question. It's fun and exciting. Okay, let's do A. We need to find the derivative. Before we find the
That's
derivative,
rearrange.
we got 4x minus k over x. What is this in index form?
You bring up the 4x minus k times x power negative 1.
So then we can derive,
Plus k over x.
and we get
4x plus k minus k over x to 2.
4 minus k.
4, sorry.
Oh, I couldn't hear that. One line.
4 plus k over x to 2.
Plus kx to the minus 2. I'd write it like that. Just do the regular derivative formula on this one. Don't do too many steps in. Don't try and do too many steps in one go. Take it nice and carefully, and then we've got 4 plus k over x squared. So with these, when you move it from the denominator to the numerator or backwards, you just change the sign. The exponent stays the same other than that.
Yeah.
So we get our derivative. So B, what are we doing next? We need to find the equation of the tangent at x equal to 4. Oh no, the equation of the tangent at x equal to 3 is given here. Write down the gradient of this tangent.
You convert slope into slope.
You convert to slope-intercept form. So we've got 6x minus 3y minus 24 equals 0. Which one should we move to the right?
You put negative 3y equal to negative.
Why are you moving the 3y across?
Because you have to isolate a y, you have to, yeah.
You have to get y on its own. We normally have y on the left-hand side, but as the y is negative, it just seems, this just seemed like a good idea, didn't it? So y is equal to, how do we get y on its own now?
You divide by 3.
We divide by 3, we got 16 over 3x minus 24 over 3. If we simplify that, is it 5 1/3? No, that's an awful number. Let's stay mixed fractions.
16 over 3.
Let's say 16 over 3. 16 over 3x minus 8. That's much better.
So for the minor, how many questions do
We haven't answered the question.
Oh, sorry.
What is the answer to the question?
The answer is,
Okay.
no, the slope, the gradient is 16 over, something equals to 16 over 3. Yeah.
Make sure you're answering the question. Lastly, we need to find the value of k. Ooh. So what have we got? We've got the functions here. We found the derivative.
You equate the slope to the function.
Yes.
We equate the slope to the function. You can have this one. Okay. Okay. C. We've got 16 over 3 is equal to 4 plus k over x squared. How can we find the answer to this?
And so.
Solve. How many answers could we get?
2.
1,000,000.
We should just
That's
check
how you
in case there's a second answer. But there might not be.
But we know that,
There might not be.
it doesn't say.
Wait, sir.
Let's do this one together on the board. Menu, algebra, and solve.
Sir, there's x and
Two variables.
There's two unknowns.
How do you do it?
Sorry.
Isn't that simultaneous equation?
You replace x with.
The x is b3.
I'm just gonna graph it.
No?
Oh.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I see.
Wow.
So then we're only going to get one answer.
Yeah, then you can.
Yeah.
Is it 3 squared?
Because they already give you the equation. Make it 1.
And that would be.
And then you
12.
can base it into the derivative like that.
When
Yeah, like we did the first
Yeah.
question.
But they gave us the equation.
Yeah, so you can just.
I will leave.
So let's open this. If you
Yeah.
do equations, then let me figure.
Does that even make sense? Yeah. That's 9. 4 plus.
What do we get as our answer?
I got 12. Yeah, 12.
K equals 12. Should we just quickly look for another answer in case there is one?
Okay.
How do I do that?
You graph.
No. He showed us a method to do it.
Okay.
You write like the maximum that you want.
So
The minimum.
why don't we enter 12.1?
This is the question that
On,
came up
100.
12.
I think so.
There's
Let's go.
Wait, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Can we take our minors home, or do you like?
No, you can keep them. Okay, that's it for today, everybody.
Next year, what
How
is
many